not watching screens for a whole week at Camp Corazón was tough for Juan. He was used to watching sports most days with his best friend, Jason, after school, and most weekends too. It took a couple days at camp for his body and brain to get used to not having constant input from a phone, tablet, or television. Slowly, though, Juan found that more time away from screens meant more time for noticing the real world around him. The sound of kids splashing in the pool, the smell of Mrs. Johnson's biscuits, and the feeling of adrenaline pumping through his veins as he waited his turn for the ropes course. Just think about the exciting things you learned just this week on your tablet, computer, television, or smartphone. Want to learn to speak Italian? No problem. Ready to explore the history of Japanese shrines and traditions? It's at your fingertips. Interested in newly discovered ocean life or Greek mythology? Coming right up. From exotic recipes to technological advancements, we can access anything and everything from the comfort of our own homes, anytime we want. But just because we can see and hear it all the time on the internet, doesn't mean we should. Finding a balance with screens is really important for your mental and your physical health. For one thing, too much screen time, yes, even if it's time spent viewing good content, is bad for our brains. Pediatricians want kids to not use screens for more than 2 hours a day. And no, that doesn't include times that they might need to use a screen for homework or while they're at school. But keeping screens out of their bedrooms, putting their screens away anytime they're eating meals, and limiting screen time is really helpful. Also, we recommend not using devices right before bedtime so kids can fall asleep more easily and sleep well through the night. For as long as he could remember, Juan wanted to play professional football. It was his dream to play in the big game, just like his favorite players. Every week during football season, he watched the games with his dad and sister, rooting loudly for Dallas and against San Francisco. Juan didn't just want to play football, though. He wanted to be just like the football players he watched on television week after week. They strode out onto the field each game, all cool, calm, and collected, ready for victory. Juan had posters of his favorite players taped to his walls and talked about the best plays of the week with his buddies at lunch most days. They also kept up on the latest fitness routines the top teams and players used to stay in tip-top shape. The players all looked mean and lean, ready to attack on the field. "Man, I want abs and biceps like that," Jason told Juan as they walked home from school. Her brother had abs during wrestling season in high school, but do you know what he had to do? He had to basically starve himself for a week to be able to compete in the wrestling weight class his coach assigned. It was so bad. He was tired and dizzy the whole time. My mom says that was way unhealthy. His doctor said he shouldn't do that again. It could make him really sick. "Really?" asked Juan. "My cousin's team is very careful about stuff like that. The coach doesn't make anyone cut weight when it's not healthy. They even make the kids do something called a water test to make sure no one is dehydrated before they compete." Jason and Juan had been playing football, soccer, and baseball together for as long as they could remember. Jason was always up for a pickup game, but he was also someone good to talk to when you felt like you needed a friend. Juan stared down at his own skinny arms and stomach. Somehow, even though they didn't know him and never would, he thought of the guys on Dallas as teammates. He felt like he didn't measure up to them at all, and that he never would, even as he got older, no matter how hard he tried. He had a feeling, but he couldn't quite put his finger on what it was. All he knew was that he didn't really like the body he was in, and he wished he was living in theirs. Genes are the building blocks of our bodies. They're made up of DNA passed down from our parents, and they wire us in a certain way. It's in a way that we can't change, even if we want to. Juan, for example, has black hair and brown eyes. That's because both of those traits are in his family genes. And even if he closes his eyes really tight and wishes for his hair to be pink and his eyes to be silver, they won't be. Genes also decide which size and shape your body will be. Just like your nose may look like your great Aunt Edna's and your hips may look like your Uncle Ned's, genes influence how tall we are, how much we weigh, and how much muscle we have. Environment is everything in and around our bodies. It's the place we live, how many sidewalks we have for walking, or bike paths that we have for riding. It's the food we have available to eat, the way that food is prepared, and how often your grandma tells you to have another serving as she pinches your cheeks. It's the culture we grow up in, the tamales our family makes every Christmas, or the special biryani our aunt serves at family gatherings. It's the way we move our bodies, the amount of time we spend on our iPads, and the amount of sleep that we get. And even though genes are really, really important when it comes to who we are and how we look, environment matters just as much. A tiny bird landed on the cabin porch just as Juan stepped outside and sat on the steps. It had been 6 days since he last went online. He'd found himself wishing he could watch football highlight reels over and over on Sunday and Mondays, but it hadn't even crossed his mind all day today. Usually, he had his head down when he walked, and his dad had to keep reminding him to look up and see the world around him. But not this week. This week, he noticed little things, like the tiny bird who, now he saw, had made a small nest in the cabin's eaves. Tweet, tweet, the bird sang, to 5 little pink heads poking up and down in the nest, waiting for their mama to feed them. Tweet, tweet, they answered back. Juan smiled. Tweet, tweet, he said, lacing up his shoes. He walked head up so he wouldn't miss anything else amazing. What is next in the moment camp adventure? Remember, your body is one of a kind, and it deserves all the love and care and kindness in the world.